Hey guys, today we're going to be covering all of the gear I used in my section hike in Georgia from Testany Gap to Dix Creek Gap. And if you haven't seen the video, there will be a link in the description. So basically what I've done here is I've put out all of the gear that I carried along with me. This is not including any of my recording equipment or any of my food. This is only going to be base weight. And I have personally looked up all of the weights and ounces online, and I have them on a piece of paper here right beside me. And I've also personally measured all of my gear with my own scale, and I'm going to be, that's where all the weight's going to be coming from. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay guys, starting over here we have my Osprey Kestrel 48 backpack weighing 56 ounces. I have a lot of nice things to say about this. The only problem it really gave me is with the water bladder compartment in the back. It didn't really fit my 3-liter platypus water bladder, but that's okay. A lot of other good uses came out of it, including the sleeping bag compartment. When I was in my car, I was really cold, and unlike my friend who doesn't have a sleeping bag compartment, he didn't want to pull all of his gear out, but I was able to just open it right up and get my sleeping quilt right out of there without having to empty the entire bag trying to get it. So that came in pretty good use. Okay, right here we have my Enlightened Equipment Revelation sleeping quilt. Now this is a 0-degree sleeping quilt, and I never really have any problems with freezing when I'm sleeping, because this thing will make you sweat in your sleep. I actually remember getting really hot at some points, but rest assured I'm never cold, I'm always warm. And this thing weighs 28 ounces, so it's pretty lightweight, but I had to pay a good bit of money for it, but it definitely does the job. I'm never cold. This is my thermal blanket. It's actually, I use it as a ground tarp. And you probably see me in the video use this. It's basically just something I sleep on. The reflective material radiates some of the heat back at me, which is pretty awesome. And this bad boy weighs 11.9 ounces, so not that bad. Right up here we have my tarp. It's the green thing up under this stuff. And that is what I use just as a basic tent, you know, and it weighs 27 ounces. Right here we have my headlamp. This is a Energizer 200 lumen headlamp I bought at Walmart. Now, just because it was bought from Walmart, don't let that fool you. This headlamp is awesome. I've had a couple of other headlamps, and this one by far is my favorite. It's very durable compared to the other headlamps I've had. I paid about 30 bucks for it. And it weighs 3.7 ounces, so it's not that bad. Going over here, this bag basically just has all of my tent stakes and paracord that I use to tie off my tarp to. So this weighs just about 7.5 ounces, so not that bad. Could be a bit lighter, I guess. I got 4 strings of paracord in there, each one about 3 to 5 feet long. Going right up here, we have my sleeping pad. This is my Thermarest X-Therm. I have nothing but good things to say about this. It's a blow-up pad, probably seen. It is also kind of made with some of the reflective material right here inside of the pad. It has a really high R value, which makes it wonderful for winter camping. So I never really, again, have a problem sleeping in the cold, because my Thermarest radiates all that heat back at me, and my down quilt, of course. But yeah, it's just an awesome pad. You can, if you're a back sleeper or a side, stomach, you can do it all on that pad. And it weighs only 15 ounces. So that, again, guys, that's not that bad. I do have another lighter sleeping quilt, but I mean, sleeping pad, but you really can't get much better for that, for the comfort that you're getting out of it. Going down here, we have my BAF-X trekking poles. This is one item that got the job done, but I'm looking to replace. I saw a lot of people using a different brand of trekking poles that I really wanted to try out. So these are probably going to be replaced, but they were anti-shock. They got the job done, but eventually one of them did. It's slowly starting to break. For the price they were at, $20, you know, they did good, but I am going to be looking to replace them. And these trekking poles weighed 24 ounces, and that's with both of them together. So yeah, they were kind of heavy, but you know, they didn't really go in my pack. I was holding them the whole time, so it didn't really affect my base weight. Moving over here to all my cooking equipment and water filtration system supplies. I'll start off with a water bladder. This is a 3-liter Platypus Ziploc water bladder, and I accidentally got the 3-liter when I was ordering it. I meant to get the 2-liter, but I'm actually happy that I got the 3-liter. The extra storage for water comes in handy. I never really have a problem with running out of water on the trail. So, and I mentioned earlier about my Osprey, how I had difficulty putting it in the actual water bag compartment on the Osprey. So what I basically do is in the main compartment, I'll put it on top of everything, and it's done good. There hasn't really been any leaks or any other problems. And this item weighs 5.4 ounces. Going down here, this is my Sawyer squeeze. The filtration system itself weighs 3.5 ounces, and the bag weighs about 1 ounce, 0.9 ounces. So basically 1 ounce. Filtering water is still kind of slow, but you know, it's definitely faster than the Mini. Overall, it did its job, and I'm pretty happy with it. Moving over here, we have my Toaks Titanium 750 milliliter cooking pot, weighing at, including the bag, it weighs 3.8 ounces. All right, down here, guys, we have my titanium spork from, I believe, Light My Fire. And this thing doesn't weigh hardly anything. It weighs 0.65 ounces, so hardly half an ounce. Over here, guys, we have my stove weighing 3.25 ounces. Again, it's not a pocket rocket, but it gets the job done. It was like $6 on Amazon. It definitely gets the job done, but it's not a pocket rocket. Here we have my generic fuel weighing at 7.4 ounces. You know, not much to say about it. It does the job. Moving over here to my med kit, this weighs 2.7 ounces. And I have a good bit of stuff in here. I have a sawed in half toothbrush, a trash bag just in case something gets, or it rains and I need to save something from getting wet. I have some hand warmers, chapstick, a whole bunch of Advil, Band-Aids, just stuff like that. I even had some moleskin in here that you may have seen me using in the video, and that really did help, but I actually used all 3 of them, so it's not in there anymore. I'm gonna have to get some more. But yeah, my med kit does weigh 2.7 ounces, which is pretty good. Moving over here, just some generic hand sanitizer, which is 2.1 ounces. Deodorant is also 2.1 ounces. And just some basic tissue paper, which is about 0.5 ounces. So again, like the spork, only about half an ounce. Okay, moving over here to some just kind of personal items. I have my glasses that I never even really used, so it's just kind of like dead weight, and they weigh 2.6 ounces. They're Costa glasses. They're really nice, don't get me wrong, but you know, I just never really felt the need to use them. Over here we have my Carhartt wallet, and again, just some weight I could have been saving, because all I really needed was my driver's license and maybe my credit card, and that would have saved me a good bit of weight. But instead I just carried the whole wallet, which was 3.5 ounces. Over here we have my phone, Samsung Galaxy S5, and something I really want to get next time is more batteries for it because the battery dies kind of fast. But including the case, it weighs 7.65 ounces. And just some other personal items, and again, I could have been saving a lot of more weight because all I really needed was my car key and maybe my thing to unlock my car, but my keys weighed 2.5 ounces, which I guess it isn't that bad, but again, I could have been saving weight if I had lost the extra key and just this thing, key holder. Moving over to my knife, again, I could have probably found a smaller knife. I didn't really find any uses for this, but it's a pretty cool knife, and I have had heavier knives, so this one was an improvement because it cut down. My original knife was like 4 ounces, but this thing only weighed about 1.9 ounces. So it's not that bad. It's a pretty cool knife. I may carry it with me next time. Moving on to clothes. I'm not really going to list the weight for my clothes because it doesn't matter as much. But you will see me using my hat. This is my favorite hat. It's Patagonia hat. It really helped with protecting me from the sun. I actually kind of got sunburned on the back of my neck, but thankfully I was able to flip my hat around and use the bill of the hat to kind of protect my neck. With me I carried 2 shirts. Right here is an Under Armour shirt that I carried with me. This is the shirt I was wearing during the video, and it was kind of expensive, but what I really liked about it was this collar, and the collar actually helped with that sunburn that I was getting. It protected the lower half of my neck, and it was a really nice shirt. I really like this. It's synthetic, so all the sweat I was sweating was immediately getting evaporated pretty much. I always use synthetic shirts on the trail just because of that reason. They make life easier. And I did have another Columbia synthetic shirt with me, so yeah, that helped. I carried 2 boxers, also synthetic. If you don't do synthetic boxers, you need to. They are a lifesaver. But yeah, 2 pair of them. Only carried, well, this is just a bandana. I carried it with me, never had to use it, but if I'm sweating too much, I'll tie this to my head so, you know, it just absorbs the sweat off of my head. That way it doesn't get in the way. Over here I have my Columbia shorts that you also see me wearing throughout the video. Again, these aren't convertible, which would have been kind of nice, but only really for the mornings, because it was kind of chilly in the morning, and it would have been nice to have like some convertible shorts and slap the lower half of the legs on so my legs weren't cold, but it wasn't that bad. These shorts are really, really thin, if that makes any sense. They have a really thin paper-like material, which is kind of cool because the breezes are a lot better. So that's nice. Up here I always pack 2 pair of socks. I believe these are Columbia socks. You know, they're really thick, so to help with blisters. And over here I have a Wigman socks, also very thick, help with blisters. And my feet weren't that bad actually. The thick socks and the moleskin really helped my feet from getting blistered, so that was kind of nice. And really, guys, the last item I have for clothing was just a wind jacket from Columbia as well. And I never really had to use this except at night or in the mornings when we were out by the campfire or I was fixing breakfast. Just really when it got chilly. Other than that, it served its purpose as a pillow. So it's pretty nice. I just put it in a stuff sack and slept with it under me. So it was a pretty good pillow. An item I kind of forgot to mention was my shoes. I had bought them a couple days right before the trip, so they were kind of fresh. I've definitely broke them in by now, but these are Merle men's ventilator hiking shoes, and they were pretty comfortable, but you know, they weren't broken, so I kind of got blisters. I feel like if they were broken, they would have been a lot more comfortable. But yeah, these were pretty cool shoes. I actually saw a lot of other people using them on the trail, so I was kind of happy to see that it was a popular choice. It must be a good shoe. And the last item I forgot to mention was just a plastic generic water bottle. You know, they're lightweight, they don't take up much space at all, and I haven't weighed it yet, so about to see. So we're looking at about under half a pound, 0.45 ounces, so that's not much at all. All right, guys, the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to weigh my whole pack using this scale. Now, everything I just showed you, all my base weight stuff is in here, minus some of the clothing that I was actually wearing. But other than that, you know, I got my wallet, my keys, everything else is in here. I don't have my trekking poles in there, but, you know, that's because I was holding them the whole time. So if you want to add the weight to it, that's fine. But realistically, I wasn't even using them in the pack. So we're looking at about 11.4, 11.2. I even saw it drop. Yeah, about 11.4. So that's pretty good, guys. All right, guys, well, that about wraps it up. If you have any questions concerning the items I've shown in this video, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And again, if you haven't seen the video where I used all these items in, there'll be a link in the description. So thanks again for watching my video, and thanks for the support.